Got the Kingfisher set up on this little contraption. Is the scenery we're working with today. Nah, I am not risking that one. I feel like it would be so easy. Just walking through the water, I slipped and just put my entire camera into the water. Today we're supposed to go to Tongariro and shoot the Lord of the Rings characters, but obviously that's not going to happen anymore. So I think the best thing is just to can this project. It's unfortunate because I mean it died just before the pinnacle of this trip, which is a shame. And then until we come back, we'll see what happens, I guess. We'll see what happens.
Every photography trip I do, I am always bringing my Lego with me. See, being in a country as beautiful as New Zealand, it makes it quite easy to get stunning shots with these Lego figures. But New Zealand is also known by another name, Middle Earth. The cinematic home of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogy. Hobbiton, Rivendell, Mordor, it's all here. You know, the largest Lego set I've ever taken for a shoot is maybe 900 pieces. This project is nothing like I've ever done before. How about we try a Lego set that has 5,457 pieces. BARAD-DUR. 33 inches high, 18 inches wide. This thing is insane with detail. And where do you think we're going to photograph this epic set? Right where it belongs. Mordor. Mount Doom. Also officially known as Mount Narahari. It's going to be a 5-hour drive down south, and we're going to be taking this epic set all the way to where they filmed these iconic scenes. And we'll hopefully try and recreate some other photos along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the first chapter of this new series, Bricks of Middle Earth, Chapter 1, Mordor.
Evil is stirring in Mordor. Ring has awoken. Its heritage masters all.
See, when I fell into the river a couple months ago and broke my OG Canon 700D, I missed out on taking my Lego Lord of the Rings characters around these iconic locations. I wasn't necessarily looking to recreate any scenes at this point, I just wanted to use the landscape to my advantage and, you know, get some cool photos. And I thought, well, if we're coming back, what if we bought the BARAD-DUR set, brought it down with us, and photographed it next to the real-life Mount Doom? Now, although this mountain is famously known as Mount Doom, it is officially known as Mount Narahari. This impressive volcanic peak holds deep cultural significance to the Māori people, who are the indigenous people of New Zealand, and sits within a truly incredible landscape. Through this series, I really want to push my Lego photography further than ever before. Use my country to my advantage and just kind of create photography that my younger self would just be completely in awe of. For as long as I can remember, Lego has always been a part of my childhood. Looking at reference images online, and the idea of taking the set and photographing itself just sounds too epic to pass on. Because for me, when I get a new Lego set, I build it, I photograph it, and then I display it. That's part of the reason why I build these Lego sets. I want to do the set justice by photographing it in a unique and captivating way. So the first day there, the weather was pretty grim. I mean, it was raining all day, it was foggy. Not the weather that we want for Mount Narahari. I mean, if it's raining and there's fog, we're not going to be able to see the mountain. So a couple of the filming locations for the Lord of the Rings films is just an hour outside of Kuratau, which is in Lake Taupo. Kuratau is where we're going to be staying. And being in Lake Taupo makes this project so much more special to me. I mean, I've been coming here for as long as I can remember, and it has always held a special place in my heart. From the wildlife to the fishing, and the combination of lakes, mountains and rivers, just, it's such an awesome place. I swear every time we come back here something's changed. When we were back here almost 4 years ago, there used to be a caravan set up right here. That's been sold off. And then back here we used to have the boat, and if you watched last time's episode you would have seen that, you know, obviously a tree fell on it and we had to, you know, dismantle parts of it. Now we've got it chilling right over here. But it's going to sound weird, but the one thing that doesn't change is the smell. The smell is always very, very nostalgic for me, and it is always good to be coming back. Even when it's pissing with rain like this, it's always good to come back. So this is what we've done. We've broken BARAD-DUR into 3 pieces. We've obviously got the eye, and then we've got these 2 pieces here. We're going to have to build this set on site. So many things can go wrong. I mean, we could break the set, we could miss the perfect weather opportunity. See, the weather app could say one thing, but then you get down there and it changes like this, and that is not an exaggeration. Weather changes here so quickly, and that's what's going to make this project a lot harder. Is this, we can't predict this weather. So just looking at the weather forecast right now, darker clouds for this sort of shoot would work extremely well because that's what you see in the films. But the main thing I'm concerned about is just low cloud, because then you won't get the peak of Mount Narahoe, and we need that peak in the photo. Otherwise, if it's gone, then what's the point? Honestly, it's just playing it by ear. That's the best way we're going to be able to do it. I've got hope. I've got hope. Now, just before we continue, I want to mention the elephant in the room. You may have noticed me wearing these awesome Lord of the Rings apparel. This is the Lord of the Rings jerseys, and this is the one collection to rule them all, the Lord of the Rings Spirit Jersey Collection. Each Spirit jersey is crafted for the fans just like myself, who want to wear their love for the epic saga and immerse themselves in the world of Lord of the Rings. And this collection includes designs that are inspired by iconic locations like the Shire, Rivendell, Mordor, locations inspired by real places like Mount Narahoe. These jerseys are so sick. The embroidery and just the quality is so awesome. You can also unlock the Wear the Adventure AR experience. Now this isn't just merch you can wear, no. You can bring it to life in 2 ways. You can visit Spirit Jersey on TikTok or Instagram, go to the effects page and select the Spirit Jersey you own. Film the artwork on the back of the jersey to activate the AR experience, which, who's doing this other stuff? This is so sick. And after extremely high demand, the Lord of the Rings Spirit Jersey collection is coming back in stock. And now this is something I'm very excited to announce. Very soon we'll be getting new pieces. What a way to kick this series off, starting with wearing official Lord of the Rings apparel provided by Spirit Jersey. Thanks again, Spirit Jersey, you guys are actual legends. So we woke up early to scout the location out today, and we're going to be traveling to Desert Road, which is on the eastern side of Mount Narahoe. Now, from doing my research and looking at Google Maps, it seemed like it would be the best possible spot to set up BARAD-DUR and have the mountain in sight. Although the weather was saying that it's not going to be anywhere close to the weather I was hoping for, today is just kind of scout things out and see what we're working with. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the beautiful Mount Narahoe. Oh boy, was it foggy. I mean, I knew it was going to be foggy, but not this foggy to the point where you just see nothing. Today was more of a moment to see the terrain that we're working with, and this terrain is probably perfect for what we're trying to do. Now tomorrow is supposed to look quite clear. What I'm kind of hoping is setting up the BARAD-DUR set on these different hills here. It would just provide a perfect frame, but very glad we came out here to check that this is going to be the right spot. Fog is the worst enemy here. Now I've only just started shooting on my dad's old Pentax 1993 film. Safe to say I'm completely hooked. Film is just so awesome. I I knew from this point, this shoot was just going to be a matter of going out each morning and just hoping for the best. I mean, one of these days is hopefully going to give us a beautiful sunrise where we can get the photos. With only 2 days left in this trip, the window was getting smaller, and the fear for missing the shot was starting to creep in just a little bit. So I've said the weather here is extremely unpredictable. When I was checking the forecast last night, it was supposed to be raining all day. But then it changed overnight and showed us that it was supposed to be cloud, and at 9 AM there's supposed to be a break of sunlight. Today could be the day that we get the photo.
Today could be the day. Today could be the day.
Already while driving, the sun was out, the roads were clear, and finally caught our first glimpse of Mount Narahoe. The hope now was real to get this shot. But the mountain was still covered in cloud. Still nowhere to be seen on the eastern side.
It's a lot cooler today. And this fog is still here, the low cloud is still here. Mount Narahoe should be just in front of us, but we still cannot see it. But there's supposed to be a break of clouds at 9 AM, which is about an hour from now.
So I waited, hoping for it to clear. I even set BARAD-DUR up just in case if there was a break of clouds and we only got like a 10 to 30 second window to shoot this thing. So I waited. And waited. And the clouds never went away. I could see that there was a rainstorm brewing in the far distance, so I had to pack it up. Another unsuccessful shoot.
It's just...
But not all hope was lost today, because 40 minutes away from this mountain, there was another Lord of the Rings filming location. Tawhai Falls, which is also known as Gollum's Pool. I took Gollum down to the rocks. And honestly, this shoot kind of gave me the boost I needed to keep going. I felt that excitement of taking photos of Lego again and having some success. After 2 unsuccessful days of shooting BARAD-DUR, I was kind of able to detach from that project and recreate one of the simpler Lord of the Rings images, and I think it turned out great. I mean, despite losing Gollum's fish sometime during this trip, the photos were simple but really unique and captivating because the crashing waterfall in the background, the light blue waters, made for some really awesome shots. I'm really curious to know if I'm the only person who has ever taken Lego Gollum to this location. I mean, I can't be. Surely there's someone else who's done the same thing as me. Now, on the way back to Kuratau, we were passing by the west side of Mount Narahoe. So this is on the opposite side now. Now, I could see so much more of this mountain on this side than on Desert Road this morning. And you could see all the clouds were formulating in that area that we were before, but on this side it was a lot better, extremely clear. Now granted, I couldn't see it fully, but it was just so much clearer in comparison to the east side.
So we've just pulled off to the side of this road here because this is the only angle where we can see Mount Narahoe. It's a really good frame, but there's a lot of grass and stuff around here, so it's kind of hard to find a spot where you can set up BARAD-DUR and not have the grass cover it, because obviously there's no grass in Mordor. But I'm just going to come over this little part and see if we can find a good spot here.
But then I saw this rocky driveway and thought, this area could work. I mean, if I get low enough, I could possibly eliminate the road and no one would ever know this was done on someone's driveway. I thought, why not? I'll set it up and see what it looks like. I thought, yeah, if this cloud wasn't here, this would be the shot. And we're getting so much luckier on this side already. With only one morning left and Desert Road continuing to provide terrible weather, the west side was now our best opportunity of getting this shot. Alright, so tomorrow is essentially our last chance to get the photo that we wanted. Now, it's a big risk shooting in a completely different location that I wasn't planning on, but just from the test shot today, I genuinely think on the side of this road might be the most perfect spot we could think of. And now the weather forecast says it's supposed to be snowing overnight, and then it's supposed to be sunny, cloudy all day tomorrow in the spot that we're photographing. And this time we're going to be trying to get to that location on sunrise. That might provide us the best photos we can possibly get. Hopefully getting nice orange hues in the background, and man, hopefully being able to see the mountain. I didn't think it was going to be this difficult. We chose the worst time to come, I think, but I keep saying this, but I guess we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow, eh? My battery's charged. Alarm set for 6 AM. Tomorrow is the final day. Tomorrow was our final chance of getting the shot. So we're driving down the road, a few clouds here and there. For the first time in 3 days, I finally saw the peak of Mount Narahari. And in that moment I knew that it was either today or never. We were set to arrive a minute before 7, right as the sun was supposed to hit the horizon. And I knew if I was lucky, the moment I get to this spot, I would only have 5 to 10 minutes to get the photos I wanted. This was my last opportunity. The moment we parked, I was on the move. Jumping out of the car, taking the set behind the mountain and angling it the best I could with Mount Narahari, Mount Doom. I could see in the far distance and the sun was just about to break through the horizon. My heart was racing. Just thinking about every moment that led to this. Breaking my camera in the lake, the 5-hour drive, days of cloud and rain covering this mountain. And now this was my last chance to get the photo I set out to capture. With BARAD-DUR lined up, mountain fully visible, and a red LED glowing behind Sauron's eye, I was ready. Then, the sun began to shine through, and it was go time. Multiple angles, countless photos, extremely low angle shots, extremely detailed shots, and even shooting a few film photos too. I took every opportunity I could with the conditions because I knew this was my last chance and these conditions weren't going to last forever. I needed to make the most of this moment right now. And after 10 minutes, the fiery clouds faded and the sky was fully blue. The beautiful sunrise was over and the shoot of BARAD-DUR was finally over.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the shot. I think we got it at least. I mean, we won't know until we go home and look at the footage to see if we really got the photo, but I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, all things considered, we didn't see this mountain for about 3 days. 3 days of no mountain. For a second I thought it didn't exist for a little bit because the cloud would just cover it every single time, but I think we got the photos. I think we got it as best as we possibly could. As we were driving here, I could just tell over in Desert Road, it was just getting lots of clouds over, so we wouldn't have been able to get the shot. But this angle here actually provides a really good space where you can just look over the landscape and have the mountain itself in the right position. But yeah, super happy. We can finally then head to Mount Ruapehu, which is just over here, and get some more photos. We can finally relax. We got the main photo we were looking for.
I had one more photo to recreate, which was a short hike up Mount Ruapehu with Frodo and Sam to photograph on Meads Wall. And honestly, hiking up this mountain was such a relief. We did the hard yards, we got the most challenging photo of this whole trip, and now it's time to adventure and just take some badass shots.
This is where they've shot Sam and Frodo, obviously from that very famous scene. And we're just plotting up Sam and Frodo on the rock here, trying to frame it as best as we can. The thing is, when you're photographing Lego, it's a lot smaller than people, obviously. So when you go to photograph them in locations like this, it's pretty tricky to try get the actual frame that was shot in the movie, but I think we're doing pretty well.
I guess, all in all, I think the biggest lesson I've learned from this trip, and although it's going to sound corny as hell, never give up on something you're genuinely passionate about, because the challenges you face are simply tests to see how far you are willing to go to get the thing that you desire. There are always going to be times when your passion feels unforgiving or difficult to hold on to. That is completely normal. I've been there so many times. Because the further you push yourself, the more rewarding it's going to be when you finally get what you want. When you finally create that masterpiece that you've always dreamt of. And even though I don't think it's perfect, I'm still super proud of these 3 images. Now I really believe that each photo here doesn't just represent a famous movie scene, but who I am as a photographer. Just, I guess, a kid capturing his favorite Lego figures in his home of Middle-earth. And just because I'm happy with these 3 images doesn't mean I'm done. No. I want to recreate so many more iconic scenes from these movies and get better at taking these sort of photos. So if you think this is a one and done episode, no it's not. Because I'll be there and back again, shooting more Lego photos right here in Middle-earth.